So before I get into my movie review here and scores I have for it, I wanted to touch on Chris Pratt's beard, and I'd like to see what your comments are as well. But so I've always been told that when you're taking a test or something like that, and you have A, B, C, and D, your first impression is generally the right impression. So if you first think the answer is A, it's usually A, and then if you start reading it and thinking a little bit, sometimes you muddy the water a little bit, and you're like, maybe it's B. No, maybe it's A. Then you start kind of second guessing yourself. So when I first watched this trailer, I saw Chris Pratt's beard, and especially this scene right here, and I thought to myself, is that real? So it may not be, it may be, it may not be, I'm not sure. But that's just my first impression of it. Now, the more I've watched the trailer, the more I kind of do lean towards it is real. I don't know, just what I saw and thought. It was the first thing that popped into my head when I was watching this trailer. So I'd kind of like to see what your guys' comments are about it. And one other dynamic into this is I know Chris Pratt's, he's doing a lot of movies. So I just kind of also factor in there as well is the time between movies. I don't know what his time is, but does he have enough time to grow that kind of beard? And also too, another dynamic is I've always heard at least that if something looks too good to be true, sometimes it is. Looking at his beard, and maybe he has fantastic face follicles. I wish my beard would grow like his, but it looks very full. So I don't know. I'm just speculating. Chris Pratt's an awesome actor, so it just, like I said, it just paused me for a second when I first watched the trailer. And I just thought it would be kind of a neat topic to talk about a little bit there. And again, I'd like to see what your comments are about this. So anyways, to go to my movie review for this movie, this is The Kid, and the scores that I tallied up for it. And before I guess a little bit too far, I do want to say spoilers. I might have spoilers in this movie or in this review. So if you're watching this and you don't want that, go ahead and turn off. And also, too, if you didn't watch my other review about Captain Marvel, what I'm doing is I'm just simply giving commentary based on what your comments are underneath this trailer. I don't want to really so much give whether I like the movie or not. I just want to comment on your comments. So, and what I did specifically here is I read through 77 comments, I tallied it up, and I gave a percentage towards what people are leaning towards, whether they lean towards liking the movie or lean towards don't like the movie. And then I also have a neutral as well. And also I'd like to put a little asterisk next to this. These were only done at the time of when I read it. So the reviews might go one way or the other with time. But when I read it, this is what I got. And so right at the top, I just want to say that lean like, give you all the stats here. Lean like for this is 49%. Lean don't like is 3%. And neutral comments was 46%. And if I get rid of the neutral comments, I come up with these stats right here. I have 93% lean like and 7% lean don't like. So this is actually very overwhelmingly positive. People seem to be really liking this particular trailer here and are reacting quite positively towards the movie. And also, I will say too, and I'll get into it a little bit further down, the neutral comments are also kind of, in my opinion, I just was trying to be fair about this, but in my opinion, are leaning towards lean like as well. But I didn't want to necessarily give it one way or the other if I wasn't sure. So getting into the lean like, it had 38 comments out of 77 that I put into the lean like category. And what people are saying about that is people are one of the comments is people are very interested in seeing Chris Pratt as a villain, and I'll actually say the same thing too. I haven't seen all Chris Pratt's movies, but generally speaking, he's the lovable, kind of dorky, I guess you could say, guy, the kind of guy that you guys see in Guardians of the Galaxy. So him as a potential villain here, and I don't know if he is or isn't, but it's coming across that way at least. It's very interesting to see him in a new role like that, and I bet you he does kind of have like even though if he is the villain, he probably still has a lovable kind of way to him. So the next one was people are just talking in general westerns, and I'd also agree with this as well. growing up as a kid, my dad used to always watch Clint Eastwood, and Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So I'm very used to watching westerns, and it just seems like there's not as many westerns anymore. So anytime, I guess, at least in the comments section, when a western comes up, people are saying, yes, westerns. So that's another thing people are saying there. So in the lean like category. And finally, in the lean like category, people are liking the people that are just simply in this movie. And they're also liking it to another movie, and I'll get to that here in a little bit. But people do like Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, and Dane Dunham, or Dehan, I should say. And they're also liking it to The Magnificent Seven, which has a lot of these characters as well, and was also a Western movie. So I guess maybe these actors do well together. So, and it comes across that way in the trailer, at least. I was actually watching the trailer for both movies just recently, and they do seem to blend very well together as actors. So those are the comments in the lean like position. Next, I had the lean don't like, and that only had 3 comments at 3%. And what people are saying about this is, and I guess you're going to have this no matter what, anytime you have a movie that has maybe something similar to an older movie. This particular movie is going to be probably starring Dane as Billy the Kid. Obviously, the title's that. So, and a lot of people associate that with Young Guns. So, if you don't know what Young Guns is, I remember this movie, and it's on TV, seems like pretty frequently. But if you don't know what Young Guns is, it's an older 1988 movie, also about Billy the Kid, and it has Emilio Estevez in it. And so, what one of the people were saying in the lean don't like category is Emilio Estevez is the guy they remember and like as Billy the Kid. So, and this is a trailer for Young Guns if you haven't seen it. So some people really are holding on to that, and that's fine. But they're saying that Emilio Estevez is what I remember as Billy the Kid, and I guess I kind of want to keep it that way. So, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Also, another one that popped up in the lean don't like category is Dane doesn't look threatening. To me, he pulled it off for me, but everybody has their own opinion on that. I know when I first watched the trailer for Troy and had Brad Pitt in it, I was a little disappointed in it because at the time I thought Brad Pitt didn't come across as that kind of strong warrior type. So, and since watching the movie, I actually very much like Troy now, and I think Brad Pitt did a very good job in that. So I was totally wrong on that. But in this particular comment, somebody was saying about Dane not coming across as threatening. So everybody's entitled again to their opinion. So that's what he's thought, and I put that in the lean don't like category. Neutral comments. A lot of neutral comments was about Chris Pratt. One was saying he wasn't recognizable. I didn't think that. I knew right away that was Chris Pratt. But somebody say that he wasn't recognizable, so I just put that in the neutral category. Another comment, I didn't put this towards one way or the other, but it says Chris Pratt's too likable to be bad. And I just left it as neutral. I guess you could go one way or the other with it, but I just kind of left that one as neutral as well. And this is another one with Chris Pratt that I didn't know about, and I had to actually look up. I guess Chris Pratt is rumored to be the next Indiana Jones, maybe? I don't know. So I looked it up, and it still seems kind of speculative. But I really like Indiana Jones as well. So, and Chris Pratt. So the marriage between the two of them would probably make a good movie. But that's just speculative right now, and that was something very interesting to see in the comments that I had no idea about. Another comment that popped up quite a bit was Dane looking like Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'll agree with this as well. In this particular movie, he does look like a young Leonardo DiCaprio, especially if you go back to DiCaprio's earlier movies, like What's Eating Gilbert Grape, or The Quick and the Dead from 1995. He does very much so in this particular movie remind me of Leonardo DiCaprio as well. And so a lot of comments are going that way as well. They're just being, like I said, neutral. They weren't saying one way or the other whether they liked it or not. They're just saying, this reminds me of a young Leo. Also, going back to the Young Guns, since this is a Western and it's about Billy the Kid, I was getting some comments that were putting from the original Young Guns quotes in there. So I guess you'll have that anytime you have a movie with similar characters in it and maybe somewhat similar. I wouldn't say 100% similar storyline, but either way you're going about with Billy the Kid. Other things people were talking about, like I said, Magnificent Seven 2.0. Again, a lot of the same characters in the cast that were in the prior movie or in this movie as well. And people are also saying, hey, man, I got to go play Red Dead Redemption. And if you don't know what Red Dead Redemption is, it's a video game. I've never played it, but it does look very good, and I kind of do want to play it. And it looks very realistic, so if you've played it and you enjoy it, maybe make a comment about that as well. This is a little bit of it right here, if you've never done that before or played video games or whatever the case may be. So anyways, so that's what I have so far. Overwhelmingly, this has been very positive. People really are taking to this particular trailer and are coming away positive with positive reviews of it. So anyways, and end this up here really quickly here. I didn't have any not appropriate comments this time, so that's good. Last one I did, there was one not appropriate comment. And put my take on this really quick. I had Chris Pratt's beard, so I already covered that. In the March 8th release date, which is very soon, and I kind of wonder why that date was picked. I guess you have to pick some date, but that's right around the corner from Captain Marvel, so they're going to be competing with Captain Marvel on that particular weekend. So it's kind of interesting to see why they maybe would have picked that date. So I don't know. I guess there's a lot of speculation there of Captain Marvel, and I know that particular movie, and that's one I just reviewed actually, has a lot of people going one way or the other, so I don't know if they're maybe trying to capitalize on that or something. I don't know. So it's just speculation. So anyways, again, this movie came as a good review. A lot of likes with this, not a lot of dislikes. So, and I hope everybody enjoyed this trailer review, and if you guys did please like and subscribe. I appreciate any support you guys can give me, and everybody have a good day. Thank you.